Metro and Future just dropped a complete bombshell of an album last night. And trust me, it's not about the music. And, you know, it's crazy to think about because this album had a lot of hype going into it. And it dropped and we knew it was coming in. Apparently there's 2 volumes. Apparently. I blame Kanye for that stupid decision and trend that now these deluxes are gonna be part 2s of albums when reality it's just a fucking deluxe. It's just a deluxe. But I guess we're gonna call them volumes now. It's the new trend. But the problem is that this album, in my opinion, missed the mark. It felt a little flat, and they didn't deliver, in my opinion. And I put the blame on Future actually, because Future doesn't know how to make a hook anymore. Apparently, his hooks consist of just saying the same phrase over and over again, like type shit. He said type shit like 80 times as the hook. We don't trust you felt so slow. Claustrophobic, he said claustrophobic again over and over again as the hook. A repetitive hook is almost never a good hook, and it comes off as super lazy, and that was a trend throughout the album, which is really disappointing. But definitely the highlights of the album were the features. And there's one feature in particular everyone's talking about. It's even overshadowing the other features, which had Travis Scott and Cardi and Rick Ross and Young Thug. And that feature is Kendrick Lamar. And you know, I remember listening to the album and I was like, okay, whatever. We got a solid song. I think Ice Attack was really good. The beat switch. I hear feature, I think it was on one of the Young Metro with Weeknd's vocals. Funny because he said he was not going to do any more features, but look at him now. But anyway, we get to Like That, and I'm just anticipating more features, which we already got Playboi Carti and Travis Scott on type shit. But we get to Like That, Kendrick comes on. And keep in mind, I'm not the biggest fan of Kendrick, but we get to the Kendrick verse, and I just hear first person shooter. They should have came with 3 switches, and I was like, oh shit, he's over here dissing Drake and low-key J. Cole. And I'm gonna pull up the verse here. This is Kendrick's verse. It's on Genius. He basically said, oh wow. Alright, so the first diss that Kendrick says on the actual song Like That. So this is the first Kendrick diss that he says is, yeah, yeah, get up with me. Fuck sneak dissing. First person shooter, I hope they came with 3 switches. Obviously that's a diss towards Drake and J. Cole. They had a #1 song last year, first person shooter. Great song by the way. And obviously the one that everyone's talking about, motherfuck the big 3, it's just Big Me, which is a diss towards J. Cole, because on the song First Person Shooter, J. Cole shared that there's the big 3, Kendrick, Drake, and himself, and he said he feels like Muhammad Ali, so basically the best, and that's a diss towards Drake and J. Cole. I don't know what J. Cole did to Kendrick. People who were hoping on that little thread that they had of hope that collab album was happening is definitely not happening. And then at the end of his verse, he's saying, for all the dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these 9s. He gonna see a pet cemetery. Yeah, that's clearly a direct hit at Drake. And yeah, that's pretty much what Twitter was going crazy about. And the verse was fucking fire. No one expected Kendrick to go on a Metro album. And the funniest part about this is that Metro fucking is beefing with Drake right now, and Metro literally just recruited everyone who has any type of beef or feels the type of way about Drake that's negative, and just put them on the album. They're like, because I think Future and Drake are beefing a little bit because of a girl, pretty dumb, and because, you know, Drake also decided to make a collab album with 21, which made Future feel a type of way, which is kind of weird because, you know, Future's supposed to be the toxic guy and not give a shit, but here we are. So not only that, he even got people like Rick Ross on here, and apparently Rick Ross just unfollowed Drake too, and it's a whole mess, and it just started a whole, probably a potential war and a whole diss track thing probably coming up. J. Cole and Drake probably might respond. Drake definitely is. I know damn well he is. It's not his first time doing this shit. And low-key, this just overshadowed the whole entire album. I don't think the album was even that special. It definitely hinders Metro's track record, his discography. I would argue it was almost perfect. Now it's like, okay, this album is a bit of a letdown. I know a lot of people seem to like it. Personally, I think Vultures was better than this. Yeah, it's shocking. It's shocking, really, because we got Kendrick dissing over here, and it literally just starting a whole war. He basically Metro just recruited everyone to just turn against Drake. It's funny because this is the biggest producer in the world against the biggest rapper in the world, and you know, people always say who are the big three, and I don't know how to identify who those or what qualifies you to be the big three. And I would say that Drake is definitely in there if we're talking about commercially. And I don't even know J. Cole and Kendrick can be in the big three anymore. Because Travis Scott just sold like over 500,000, like about close to 500,000 units with Utopia. And I don't think J. Cole and Kendrick are even touching those numbers if they dropped it right now. So one of them isn't even in the big three if we're talking about commercial wise, because I don't think they're touching those numbers. Even Kanye can't even touch those numbers, especially that considering he's blackballed now. But yeah, it's very interesting, and I think the rap game is going to get a lot more interesting because people are like, oh, we need more competitive people talking their shit, whatever, and you know, everyone's going to be here for it because everyone loves diss tracks. You know, they're throwing subliminals all the time, and they got these viral pictures of Drake looking sad and everything, looking despondent after the verse. And it's crazy to think that we're in a state where this is actually happening, because who would have thought Future and Drake would collide in a beef? Because obviously they're known for the history and iconic duo of having so many hits together. And it's funny because Metro even tweeted out, oh, you guys gotta pick a side or whatever, and he's clearly talking about Drake. Anyone who's affiliated with Drake and him, you gotta pick a side. You know, you're either on that side or his side. And it puts people in an awkward position because you gotta consider people like 21 Savage. He cannot pick a fucking side, let's be honest. 21 Savage has his biggest hits with Metro and Drake. With Drake, it's Knife Talk, Jimmy Cooks, Rich Flex, and a couple others. And then with Metro, he has Creepin', the whole Savage 2 mode, and so many different collab tapes that he can't pick a side. He shouldn't pick a side, and he has a collab tape with Drake as well, so that doesn't help. Yeah, but clearly I guess Future picked a side because, you know, he has a collab with Drake, but I guess that doesn't mean fuck to him. But hey, it's Future. He can do whatever the hell he wants. But yeah, this is exciting because I think we're gonna get a lot of diss tracks, and I think it's gonna be great. You know, if someone's gonna probably drop the best diss track, if he actually does, I don't know if he actually will, is J. Cole. I'm not even the biggest J. Cole fan, but I definitely know that he's probably out of all the three, he's definitely in his prime. Kendrick definitely isn't in his prime, and so is Drake. After For All the Dogs, because For All the Dogs was mid, and I really like Drake, so that was disappointing. I don't know, low-key, I'm a little scared for Drake, because shit, I don't know if he can even clap back against it, because Kendrick kind of murdered him, especially with the whole diss with the For All the Dogs getting buried at the cave with all these nines. He gonna see a pet cemetery. That was tough. That was tough. I can't be honest. But yeah, Kendrick basically stole the whole spotlight. He used this as a diss towards Drake, basically. A little towards J. Cole, not as much as Drake. But we've been knowing this beef has been going on for like ages at this point. People always compare them to, and they always feed into it. And you know, usually it's peak entertainment because who doesn't want to see the two biggest artists go at each other? Especially when we consider the rap game right now. Everyone's just a hypocrite. They don't stand business. But this is something that everyone should be excited for because, well, so this is probably gonna change the landscape of rap for probably the next couple years at this rate. You know, one second you got Kanye like being friends with Drake, and then the next second they're beefing again. It's the same cycle, you know. New beef starts or whatever. You got Meek Mill in here. You got academics in here, and then you got these people forgiving each other maybe 2 years later or some bullshit. And yeah, this is basically the rap game. I'm here for it, and I'm pretty sure everyone else is excited for it. How could you not? We got three of the biggest rappers in the world going at it, except J. Cole and Drake. I'm pretty sure they're good. So Kendrick, you know, Kendrick wants all the smoke because he thinks he's the best. Personally, I'm not gonna listen to Kendrick, but the verse was tough, and I have to give him credit for that. And the Metro Future album, bit of a letdown. Definitely was used for Kendrick's verse, that's for sure. But yeah, hopefully we can see where this goes in the future. Probably a diss war, but I'm here for it.